Hi, 7th grade. Happy Monday. Okay, so we're going to move on to box plots this week. Let's look at this example. I'm just going to make my screen a little bit bigger. So box plots have something called a 5-point summary. And a 5-point summary entails these points, which is the lower extreme value of the data set, which is the lowest data value in the data set, and then the upper extreme value here, which is the highest data value in the data set. We also have the median here, Q2. We also have the lower quartile, which is represented as Q1, and the upper quartile, which is represented as Q3. So these are the 5-point summaries. So let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Do you see that? Okay. And this 5-point summary is drawn on a number line, and it's supposed to represent a quick visual summary once you see a box plot on a number line. Now, what you need to do though is you have to recognize this number line encompasses all the data points within the value. Now, these aren't all the data points, right? There's probably a lot more, but they just figured out the Q1, Q2, and Q3, and also included the lowest data value and the highest data value. And so when you choose to draw your number line, you have to see which, how long should my number line be, which points should I include, and you have to make sure that it's drawn to scale. Like, notice from here, 1 to 2 is the same space as 2 to 3, which is the same space as 3 to 4, and so on. Okay. If it's not drawn to scale like this, then your information here in your box plot is not going to help you visualize the important concepts of it, what you can infer from it. Okay, and so let's talk about this data here. Okay, so notice here we have the lower extreme value here. They put it as a dot. They put another dot at Q1, another dot at Q2, another dot at Q3, and another dot at the upper extreme value here. Those are the 5 points. Okay, now they draw a box around Q1 and all the way to Q3. So they draw a line here and a line here, and then they draw a rectangle box. Now they also draw a line through the point of Q2 here, and it doesn't go past the box. Okay, all right, so the box captures the middle 50% of the data. Okay, so remember, between Q1 and Q2, that represents 25% of the data. And between Q2 and Q3, that also represents 25% of the data. So this entire box here represents 50%. Okay, so 25 plus 25 is 50%, which represents the middle 50% of the data, this box. So you can see 4 to 11 represents the middle 50% of the data. And now we talked about this already, that there's a vertical line through Q2 point here. The vertical line through the median divides the data box into 2 equal halves. So I know visually it doesn't look equal, right? But it's not supposed to look equal because we're representing, okay, the data points on this number line, okay? But so this here from 4 to 6 represents 25% of the data, and then from Q2 to Q3 that represents 25% of the data. Okay, so there's like a bigger spread of data between Q2 and Q3 than Q1 and Q2. Do you see that? Okay, all right, so that's what it means, okay, when we look at this visually. And then finally, the 2 whiskers, like right here, here's 1 whisker, and then right here, here's another whisker here, show the spread of the remaining data from the middle 50%. This is the middle 50% of the 2 extreme values. So we have the lower extreme, which is the lowest data value in the data set, and then we have the upper extreme, which is the highest data value in the data set. Okay. And from this box plot, we can find the interquartile range actually because we know what Q1 and Q3 are. So remember that interquartile range is Q3 minus Q1, which is equal to, in here, 11 minus 4, which is 7. So that's the interquartile range. And then it also, from our box plot, we could find the range because it gives us the greatest value and then the lowest value, right? Which is worded as upper extreme and then the lower extreme here. Okay, so range is upper extreme minus lower extreme. All right, now it's your turn. Why don't you practice? Pause the video and answer the question there. And when you're ready, play the video again. I'll see you soon. Hi again. All right, so from the data, it's asking you to find the lower quartile. So the lower quartile is Q1, right? Which is where my mouse arrow is pointing to, okay? So this is Q1. Median is Q2. Upper quartile is the highest, right? And then I guess it doesn't tell you to find the lowest, okay? And then interquartile range will be upper quartile is Q3, sorry, okay? Interquartile range is Q3 minus Q1, okay? So this would be my information from the data. So let's take a look, okay? So my lower quartile, which is Q1, I know it's right here, right? And notice just when you guys draw the box plots, when you draw the whiskers, make sure it's your whisker is from like the middle of this rectangular box on the side here, okay? Not at the top in that corner, at the bottom corner. Okay, it has to be in the middle, okay? And the dots should be at least within a straight line, okay? It shouldn't be like a diagonal, right? It should be a straight line. Okay, that's just a heads up on that. So anyways, the lower quartile is Q1, which is 26. Okay, and then the median is Q2, which is in the middle of our rectangular box here, and it has a line through it. Okay, so then that's 32. And then our Q3 is 34. Okay, the range is the upper extreme minus the lower extreme. Okay, upper extreme minus the lower extreme, which is equal to, so upper extreme is 40 minus the lower extreme is 20, and that's 20. Okay, and then our interquartile range is Q3 minus Q1, so Q3 is 34, Q1 is 26, so then that's 34 minus 26, and then that should equal to 8. Okay, that's our interquartile range. All right, pat yourself on the back. Okay, now let's look at constructing box plots now, okay? So we're going to take a look at this example. 16 students took a quiz and their scores were 3, 8, 7, 11, 11, 5, 12, 12, 8, 7, 7, 9, 5, 10, 15, and 4. Draw a box plot for the data and label it with a 5-point summary. Okay, so first things first, okay, we got to arrange the data in ascending order. So we have to arrange the data from the smallest data value all the way to the greatest data value. Okay, and so it's done there for you in step 1. Next is we have to figure out the 5-point summary. So we need the lower extreme, which is the least. Then we need the upper extreme, which is the greatest. And then you need Q1, Q2, and Q3. Okay, Q2 is the median here. And since there's 16 data points, okay, the 8th and 9th data, you have to add them together, divided by 2, and you'll get 8. And then the Q1 is the median of the lower half. Okay, so then there's 8 data points here. So you have to add the 4th and 5th data value and divide it by 2, and you'll get 6. And then the upper quartile, which is Q3, um, you have to find the median of the upper half of the data. And then again, there's 8 data points here. So that means the fourth and fifth value from the median here, you have to add them together, divided by 2, and you get 11. Okay, so they found the 5 data points. Next, you're going to draw a number line that includes all of these data points here, okay? And notice that, they didn't just start at the lowest extreme 3, right? They included a 1, okay? So, and again, notice the number line is drawn to scale. The spacing between each of the numbers, makes sense, okay? So just be careful and work on the spacing when you draw a number line for your box plot. Okay, and then so they put the 5 data points here. This is the lower extreme 3. Here's Q1 of 6, median of 8, Q3 of 11, upper extreme of 15. And then you're going to draw a box around the Q3 and Q1 and Q3, and draw a box. And then where the median is, you're going to also draw a line, okay? And then finally, you need to draw the whiskers, okay? So you gotta draw it from this data point, Q3, to the upper extreme, Q1 data point to the lower extreme here. Draw a whisker, a straight line, as straight as you can. It should be horizontal. And you are done, and that's your box plot, okay? All right, so now it's your turn. I want you to pause the video and try to draw a box plot for guided practice number 2. See you soon. All right, hey. Okay, so the first things first is we have to arrange the data in ascending order, and so I did it like this. Okay. Pause the video if you need to check yours with mine. Okay. And then after you do that, you have to calculate the 5-point summary, okay? And which I did right here like this, okay? All right. And so in here, there's 12 data points. So first with the median, since there's 12, it's an even number, I know I have to take the 6th and 7th data, add them together, divided by 2. So it's 2.6 plus 2.9. Divided by 2, and you get 2.75. Then I want to take the, I want to find Q1, okay? Q1 is the median of the lower half of data, and there's 6 data points. So I know I have to take the 3rd and 4th data point, add them together, divided by 2. So 1.6 plus 1.7, divided by 2, you get 1.65. And then for Q3, I have to find the median of the upper half of data, and again, that is since there are 6 data points, I have to take the 3rd and 4th data point, add them together, divided by 2. That comes after the median, and then that gets you 4.65. And the lower extreme and the upper extreme are quite easy. You just have to find the lowest data value and the highest data value and label them as lower extreme and upper extreme. And it's easy once you order your data from ascending order, in ascending order, okay? And after you did that, we're going to draw a number line. For me, it took some time to figure out what are my increments, because the range of data is from like 0.5 up to, I changed it from, so my lower extreme is 0.5, my upper extreme is 5.7. And should I draw every 0.1? As an increment. And actually, that's what I ended up doing, okay? I ended up doing 0.1 as my increment. And for my median, so this is my lower extreme, Q1, Q2, which is my median, and this is in between 2.6 and 2.7. So I just drew it in the middle, okay? So again, you really want to draw your number line, your increments correctly and accurately and as precisely as you can. Otherwise, when you visually see your box plot and it's not drawn precisely, your number line, then it'll be hard to decipher information from your box plot, okay? So from here, now we're ready, okay? We're going to draw a box, okay? So we're going to draw a box between our Q1 and, so this is my Q1, so I'm going to draw a box here, okay? I'm going to draw a box here, okay? Between my Q1, okay? And then I'm going to draw a line here, okay? Through my median, okay? And then I'm going to connect my Q3 to my upper extreme like this, and my Q1 to my lower extreme like this. And ta-da, here's my box plot, okay? So notice here I can see, well, the 25, the middle 50% of data is right here, right? Between Q1 and Q3, and then 25% of my data between Q1 and Q2. The range of it is less than the range of my Q2 and Q3 data. Do you see that? Even though both represent 25% of my middle 25% of my data. Okay. But anyways, we'll get to interpreting tomorrow. And yeah, all right. How was it? Not too bad, right, for today? All right. Well, all right, I'll see you next time. Bye. Have a good day.